All right, today we're going to be making the camshaft. This is going to be a longer video since the camshaft is multi-step. It has a lot of steps here, multiple extrusions. We have some linear patterns and some new features that we'll show off, including like revolve and fillet. So let's do it. Let's do it. So we're going to be starting the camshaft with a face sketch here. So we're going to go on to right plane. We're going to go and just make a little outline of the face we want to create here. Okay. Now we're going to smart dimension this, so it's going to be 1.05 here. We're going to go 0.125 here. This right here is going to be 0.125. And then we're going to do a little bit of construction reference geometry here. So we're going to create a line going from here to here, just to make sure that that relation between that point and this line is going to be on the same horizontal axis. We're going to, again, go to construction and then make it just for reference there. And then last but not least, we're going to dimension this new construction line to be 0.25. All right, after that is all done, we are good to create a little axis at the bottom here. So we're going to make another piece of reference geometry just by clicking on construction. And we're going to dimension it from the main face to be 0.375 inches away. It's going to round to 8, but we'll know that it's 0.375 here. All right, from there, we're going to go on to features. We're going to go to revolved boss base. We're going to select on the line right here as the axis of revolution, and it's just automatically going to trace the sketch that we had. If we wanted to select contour, so if for whatever reason it didn't automatically pick this sketch, you could go to select contours and then just select this face, and it will do the same thing there. So we're just going to click the little check mark, and now we have a fully revolved face here. All right. Next, we're going to be doing a side profile sketch here. So we're going to be clicking on this face right here. And then we're going to be creating lines that go from the center of the circle all the way to the top here. And then we're going to be dimensioning those pretty soon. So as you can see, I just created 2 lines. We're going to delete the half. And we're going to go from here to here, and then back through. Oh, looks like we messed up a little bit there, but that's okay. Then we're going to go from the top, make sure it connects through here, and lines up. All right, we're going to try this one more time. So again, make sure you click the center here, at any point on the circle, and then just try to trace the yellow line back down and through. And then we should be good. We're just going to select the segment and delete. Now we're going to smart dimension here. So we want our line to be 30 degrees from a central axis. So let's get that central axis going. Is this lined up? Yeah. And we're going to also want a horizontal axis. And these are both going to be for reference geometry as well. So click and then control click on the second one and push for construction on both. It looks like this point is slightly off from the center, so we're just gonna drag that there, drag that. I'm gonna pause real quick here. All right, so one of our lines was slightly off, so what we're gonna do is recreate those lines, making sure they touch the center. And then this time mirror across instead of creating a long line. So we're going to dimension this from the center line here to be 30 degrees. And we're going to dimension this from the second line to be 60 degrees. And it should already lock to that. This is going to be 60 degrees here. Looks like there might be a relation where these are perpendicular. So we're going to see if we can fix that real quick. If you ever have a relation that you can't see, but you know the two lines that will be in relation, you can click on one and then control click on the other. And you'll notice, yes, they're perpendicular here. So we can just push delete on that. And now we can freely edit the relation there. So now we can make this 60 degrees. And then we should already know, since this is 30 degrees from this angle, it has to be 60 degrees from that angle. All right, now we're just going to mirror some entities. So we're going to select this line. We're going to control select this line, and we're going to mirror about there. We're going to select OK. And now we're going to have two lines coming here. But you'll notice we don't have a closed contour yet. We do not have a closed contour. So we're going to make that really quick. We're going to go to 3-point arc, select on this line. So, sorry, select that point, and then we're going to bring it all the way out here. And that should create a closed surface there. Same thing for the other side. And then as you can see, we'll have two filled in regions. All right, so now what we're going to want to do is extrude cut. So we're going to go to features, go to extruded cut. We're going to cut this down, select our contours here first. We're going to go boom, 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 boom. All right, and then we're going to cut all the way back to the surface here. Just like that. All right. So at that point, we should have something that looks like that. Now from there, we're going to make another sketch on the same sketch plane. So we're going to go to sketch, click on that same plane. And this time we're going to make a smaller radius per se. So we're going to click on the center here of the circle if you can find it. And if not, yeah, there we go. I'm going to drag that out to this point here. And then we're going to do the same thing, but for the further radius right there. And then we are going to create a smaller circle here. So we're going to get a line that is perfectly perpendicular with those two faces there. Same thing for this one right here. Just get it nice and perpendicular. And then all we're going to do is select this point and select this point via Smart Dimension. And we want that distance here. Sorry, wrong selection there. We're going to select this point right here. And we need a reference geometry line going straight down the middle. Same with this, we want a reference geometry line going down the middle as well. Make those both for construction, and then again, we're going to select here and select here, and we want the angle to be 35 degrees. 35 degrees, there we go. Same thing for this line, 35 degrees. And then we're just going to mirror that across. So we're going to have our 2 points at the top, this one and this one. And then we're going to have the mirrored line be the central line right there. And from there, we're just going to click mirror, and we should have two closed faces right there. So let's go to features, and we're going to do an extrude boss base. We're going to select contours, and these should light up red. Perfect. You'll notice they're pushing out this way, and we want them to go the other way. So we're just going to hit this direction button right there. And we want that to be all the way up to surface again. So we're just going to click the back of here, and it should go all the way through the surface. All right. So now we should have something that looks like that. Should have something that looks like that. What are we doing next here? We're going to start on the camshaft part. We're going to start on the camshaft. So, we're going to have ourselves a sketch on the back plane. So we're going to start by creating a little circle here. We're going to have to redo that since it's not lined up like we want it to be. There we go. And then we want, let's see if we can select that. We cannot. We're going to create a reference line again from the top of this circle to the bottom. We're going to make that for reference geometry. Now this, there we go. This line should have a midpoint. We're going to select the center of the circle and the midpoint of the line, and we're going to want to create a distance of 0.25. Now you'll notice that the circle unfortunately moved upwards and is no longer in contact with this bottom part. That's not a problem. We can select there, select the outer part of the circle, and then select the bottom of that circle as well. And then we're going to do a tangent relationship. And now it should already be 1.5 inches. Let's double check. And yes, it is 1.5 inches. And then from there, we're just going to extrude outwards 0.5 inches. That's going to be blind. So 0.25. And then we're going to click the green check mark there. Perfect. So now we should have something that looks like this. All right. Next here, we are going to be doing a little extrusion on the top here. So we're going to click this face, go to sketch, and then we're just going to be making use of the 3-point arc again. So we're going to click here, just any two random points on these sides, and we're going to drag it all the way up until it touches the top, or sorry, all the way up until it's above this little curvature here. And then we need some reference geometry again, so we're going to click our line. We're going to drag that all the way down so that we have a line going through the center of that circle there. We also want a line going through the midpoint, from the midpoint to the edge of that circle. Not sure if that's a centered line. We're going to redo that line real quick. And we want the center of the circle to the line. Yes, that's going to be horizontal that time. Looks like our line accidentally contacted here. So what we can do is we can select on that little coincident relation, delete it, and then we can drag it down to the little curvature for that inner circle. And then we need these all to be for reference geometry. And then last but not least, we're going to have two more lines for reference geometry. So we're going to have one coming down here. And then we're going to have one coming down here. And I apologize, the first one I made incorrectly. It's going to have to be a little bit lower down. Now it's time to dimension. So we're going to have the distance between the midpoint and that dot on the top to be 0.25. And again, we have to make these reference geometry. So we're going to select both of these and make them for construction. Then we also want the angle between this line and the horizontal or the vertical line to be 75 degrees. Same with the other side. And then now we're just going to drag these points on the top down to here. So we're going to drag that there until it locks, drag that there until it locks. And really, the spacing here doesn't matter as long as it's above this little part right there. So let's drag it like a little bit over that point right there. Just make it a good distance. In fact, actually, let's make this just so it's easy. Let's make this center part constrained there. Looks like we did something wrong, so we're just gonna Control Z. We're gonna put the center point right above it, right above that little dot there. And then we're gonna do one more 3-point arc. We're gonna click here on the other side, and then drag it all the way up to the top again. Now the last part, which we need to do to finish the face here, is to create a line that is parallel with the reference geometry line there, and then do the same thing on the other side. And if it's not locking in parallel like it is right here, that's completely fine. You'll notice this one is a little bit off the axis, so we're going to select both of these, Control click on the second line, and then we're going to make them parallel here. Now all that's left to do is drag these points to contact there, and we should have a closed surface now. All right, so now we're going to extrude blind, and we're going to do that 0.25 inches. Looks like we're getting an error called zero thickness geometry. That usually happens when there's a point here that's infinitesimally small in relation to a line here. So we're going to have to modify our sketch here really quick. Let's go back to sketch, and we're just going to make these offset slightly from this point here. So we're going to delete this relation, and we're going to drag it a little bit. There we go. Same thing, we're going to delete this relation, and we're just going to drag it a little bit. And again, that invalid geometry happens when there's a triangular point that contacts a wall, because then you'll notice that there's an infinitesimally small connection point. And the CAD software just can't solve that. So now we're going to go to extrude boss base, and then it should work this time. There we go. All right, now we should have something that looks like this. And what we're going to do next is work on cutting down these little edges here a little bit. So we're going to select on this face, click on sketch, and then essentially we're just going to try to box these edges up. And we're going to do that by creating a vertical line here and then just trying to surround the edge now. So as long as we have a vertical line here and the edge is surrounded, we're good to go. We don't need any sort of reference geometry. All we're trying to do is just delete these edges. So we could even do like a different path for this one, just to make sure it surrounds it. make multiple lines here. One thing you want to be careful of is making sure it doesn't touch this line, or sorry, this body or this body. As long as it just is a horizontal line and surrounds the edge there. And if you're not sure if all the lines are horizontal, what you can do is click on each of them. And you'll notice we have a little vertical line marker there. In the case that it wasn't vertical, so let's say this relation wasn't there, we just select on the line and then click on the add relation to be vertical there. Now all we're going to do here is go to extruded cut. We're going to select all 4 of these contours. Just make sure I got everything there yet. And now it's going to be as simple as going up to the surface, using the up to surface command and just clicking right here. Looks like we're getting an error here. Interesting. We'll try to complete the cut. Yeah. Select face to complete specification. Okay. Up to surface. We're just gonna click there again. Looks like that's not working for some reason, so we'll just go blind. And I believe the correct distance is going to be 2 inches or 1 inch. Let's see. Let's go 1.05. Sorry, 1.0. That looks like it's perfect right there. All right. We're going to click complete, and now we should have something that looks like that. Perfect. All right. The next step is going to be continuing the front or the side rather of here. We are going to be getting a little bar on the middle of this shape. And again, we don't need too many dimensions here as long as we have a point, or sorry, a square that goes past the edges here. So as you can see, this is the edge. We want it to be completely inside of this closed shape. It could be here, it could be here, it could be here, as long as it's in between those 2 lines. And then we're just going to dimension it to be 1.25 wide. Sorry, 0.125. There we go. And then we should be good to go there. We're just going to extrude blind 1 inch up, or 0.15, whatever you want to do there. 1.05, excuse me. All right, we should be good. Next step is going to be making the camshaft. So this is where it gets a little bit repetitive, a little bit fun. We're going to go to the back of the shape here, and then we're going to be learning how a camshaft is kind of spaced out here. So first we want to get the center of the circle here. So we're going to look for the center. And again, if you can't find it, that's okay. Oh yeah, here we go. There it is. But again, if you can't find it, that's fine. You're just going to click on the top here, drag a line all the way through the bottom. So I'll demo that right now. And then you'll have a midpoint appear right there. So that's in the case that you can't find the center point of that circle, but we can. It's going to be right here. We're going to create a line that's coming out here. And then we want, sorry, we actually didn't even need the center point relation. That's my bad. So we're going to delete that relation right there. Kind of drag it away from the center a little bit so it doesn't accidentally snap into place. And we're going to create another line that goes down here. These are going to be reference lines, so we will turn them into construction geometry in just a second. But we want the distance to be 0.5 and the distance here to be 0.25. Now we're going to control click on both of these, and we're going to make them for construction. All that's left to do now is create a circle from the point that's stemming from this little branch right here. And we want our circle to be the same diameter as the other circle, so we're going to make it 1.5 inches. All right, after we have that, we're going to go to features, and then we're just going to extrude it 0.5 inches blind. Perfect. You should have something that looks like that. All right, after that, we are going to go and create another one of these. We're going to create another one of these real quick. So we're going to select on this plane now. We're going to do the same thing, but we're going to flip the little stem here by 90 degrees. So now it's going to come from here to here. So we're just going to click on the bottom point there and have it come out here. There we go. These are both going to be construction geometry. And now it's just a function of dimensioning it. And then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to get this little point at the end here. Let me just make sure I'm recording real quick. Yeah, we're recording. Very nice. All right. And then we are going to dimension this to 1.5. Perfect. Now we're going to go to features, extrude boss base, and then same thing. We are going to have it come out 0.5 inches. Now we're going to do this one more time here. One more time. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, we're going to do it one more time. I believe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we're going to do it 2 more times. We're going to do it 2 more times. Now we should have it coming from the top. If you remember last time it was coming from there, so now we're going to have it coming from the top. So we're going to go boom, boom. We're just going to dimension these real quick. Make them for construction. And then create our circle here. We're going to make sure that it's 1.5 inches. And same thing, extruded boss base. Should come out 0.5 inches. Then you'll notice we almost have a complete cam rotation there. Now we just need one more. Just need one more here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. There should be 5 for a full cam rotation. So last time, we're just going to select here. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to have it come out from this side right here. And then we're going to have it come up like that. We're going to select both of these again. Make sure that they are reference geometry. Dimension them real quick. It's already 0.5, perfect. And then 0.25. And then the last step is just going to be to create that circle one more time. All right, now we should be good. We're gonna go to extruded boss face, extrude it out one more time, and now we have a full cam rotation there. Now, a cool thing you can do with these things that repeat is you can do something called linear pattern. So we're gonna go to linear pattern here. We're gonna select a couple of these. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now what we can do here is we can make them kind of go outwards here. So we're going to create, let's see, how many instances of this do we need? I believe we need 3 instances. So we're going to go here, we're going to go to this button and go to 3. We want them to be spaced. We're going to assume 0.5. Sorry, spacing is going to be 2 inches. And direction is going to be, let's flip that. Let me pause this real quick. All right, sorry for the little pause there. We're going to select 1, 2, 3, 4 circles here. And we're going to have them be spaced 2 inches apart. And we're going to have 4 instances here, 4 instances. And we're going to click the OK button. Actually, let me show you one more time right here. So let me delete all these, just in case you guys were unsure of what to do. So again, we're going to click this one, this one, this one, and this one. We're going to flip the direction. And then we want 2 inches and 4 instances. And then we're just going to click the OK button. Interesting. Let me solve this problem real quick. That looks correct. Oh, we have a direction too as well. That's the problem. Let's delete this. Let me pause one more time. Sorry, guys. So I actually continued to get that error, so I'm not exactly sure what was going on, but we just did a single linear pattern instead of 4. So just 2 instances instead of 4 instances. And now what we're going to do is we're going to linear pattern again. So same thing. On features and faces, we're going to select all of these. Oh. Let's get rid of that real quick. I'm going to select on these. Flip direction here. Let's see if that works here. It's going to create one more. 1, 2. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So we need one more instance there. So we're going to go to edit feature here. And instead of selecting those faces, what we're going to do is we're actually just going to select the linear pattern itself. And you'll notice we just need 2 instances now. We're going to flip the direction. And actually, let's make it 3. I think that's going to be better for us here. And now we should have a full camshaft. There we go. Beautiful. So now we have, if we count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. And you'll notice we have 17, which is not an even number here. So we're going to get rid of the last face. All All right, so we're going to go to, let me make sure we're recording here. We are recording, beautiful. We're going to go to sketch. We're just going to remove this face by simply tracing the outline of it. So we're going to get the center here, trace the outline, go to features. Extruded boss face is not correct. We're going to go to extrude cut, and we are just going to simply cut 0.5 inches. There we go. Now we are on the home stretch here. We're almost done. So what we need to do is create a little circle for the cam to come out of on the other side. So we're going to select here, click on sketch. I'm going to create a little circle here. We're going to create some reference geometry. So we want this to be going here. Now the reason we do this is so that we can set this line right here to horizontal. And then we need this right here to be 1 inch. And we need the distance here to be 0.5 inches. Perfect. All right, now we're going to go back to features. We go to extrude boss face, and we're just going to extrude out 0.5 inches once more. All right, after that, let's click on the sketch plane here. We're going to go to center rectangle, find the center of the circle. And again, if you can't find the center, oh, here we go. If you can't find the center, you're just going to make that line and then click on the midpoint. We're just going to dimension it to be 0.875. Sorry, 0.87. And you'll notice that's going to correlate with a perfect 0.5 inches at the top, or at least it should. Let me delete this up here, and now we can dimension here. Perfect. All right, next, we are going to be extruding that 0.75 inches out. All right, after that, we have a cut, so we're going to cut back down on this face. We're going to create a reference line that's going to go across the middle here. I'm going to make it for construction. And then we're going to have two center rectangles branching from this center point. We're going to dimension those up real quick. So we're going to have the distance between them be 0.25. We're going to have the distance at the top be 0.25. And we're going to have the height of these be 0.5. Perfect. And then we are going to, sorry, we're not going to extrude cut, we're going to extrude boss face. Looks like this is driven for some reason. Let's see if we can find out why here. There's going to be a relation. Yeah, it looks like we can't pull that. All right, if you can't find the relation, usually the best bet is just going to be to delete the face here. So we're just going to delete this. And we're just going to recreate it real quick. We're going to have this as 0.5. And then again, the distance between them should already be 0.5 or 0.25. But yeah, there we go. And then we're going to go to features, and we are just simply going to have this thing extruded all the way down. So we'll go to up to surface, and we're going to select this surface right here. So it should look something like that at this point. All right. From there, what we are going to do, did I do something wrong here? Sorry, it was going to be an extruded cut. That's my bad. So what we're going to do here is go to edit sketch. Or actually, we can just click on that sketch and make it super simple, and then go to extrude cut. So if you haven't already done the cut, then do the cut right now. But if you have extruded at this point, you can just click on the sketch, go to extruded cut, and then go down to the plane. There we go. So now we should have something that looks like this. All right. Next, we're going to add 2 more rectangles to the sides here. So the sketch on this plane here. We're going to go to corner rectangle this time. Sorry, we're going to make it on this circle, not the bigger outer circle. So we can just delete this right now. And then we're just going to dimension this up. So we're going to have this as 0. Where's the midpoint here? Let's see if we can find it. Yeah, there we go. We have it at 0.25 from the midpoint. We're going to have this be 0.5 inches long. We're going to have it be 0.125 inch width. We're going to do the same for this one right here. Find the midpoint. There we go. 0.25. And then same thing up here. We're going to have it at 0.125. And then we're just going to want to make sure that there's a coincidence right here. Yes, there is. Is there? Yes, there is. All right, perfect. Now all we're going to do is extrude up. We're going to extrude up 0.75. We're going to go to blind, 0.75. Perfect. Now we should have something that looks like this. We are almost done, almost done. Last couple steps here. Now we're just going to add a little wings to this thing right here. So we're going to select this face. We're just going to add little triangles to the ends of these. Make sure you do a fully closed triangle when you do these. Otherwise, it won't create a contour for you. Just going to dimension these as 0.125, 0.125, and then we're going to have this line be 0.25. Same thing, 0.25. Perfect. All right, now we're going to go to features, extruded boss base. Same thing as always, up to surface. We're just going to click on the back of this right here, and it should lock there. All right, nice, very solid. We are on the last step now. Looks a little bit challenging on the slides, so this would be a good step to pay attention to. We're going to go to this face on the other side once more. And we are just going to be getting rid of some stuff here. So again, let's click on this right here. And now what we want to do is just create some contours, some closed contours so that we can get rid of some stuff. All right. So we don't need exact dimensions per se. We just want to get rid of um, some features here. We go down to here. Then we're gonna end this one right there. We're gonna go here. Same thing, up, straight up vertically. Come down to this line right there. And sorry, we are going to dimension these two lines right here. So this is going to be 0.6. It's going to be 0.6. And then we're just going to trace some more lines here. We're going to trace some more lines. We go from here to here. Make sure that it's, oh, clicked on the wrong line there, sorry. Okay, we're going to go from here to here. See if we can zoom in on there. Where is this connecting right here? Here to here, sorry. And we're just going to make it hug that line. Same thing on the other side from here to here. It's kind of hard to see with everything going on. Here to here, there we go. I'm just going to make that hug that line. And then we want some tangent lines here. There we go. There we go. And then we're just going to close the shape down. So from here to about here, hug the line. Then from here to about here, hug the line. And then we're just going to close it down, like I said. So we're going to go from here to here. We go from here to here. All right, so we should have something that looks like this at this point. And what we're going to do from here is extrude boss base. We're going to extrude boss base here. But we want it to be 0.25 inches from the back here. So what we're going to do is go to features, extrude boss base. But we're not going to have it from the sketch plane here. We're going to have it offset. Or we're going to have it from a surface. So we're going to select the back surface here. That's where we're going to have it coming out from. And it's going to be blind 0.25. So hopefully this works. Yes, that looks good right now. We should have something looking like this at the end here. Just like that. And that is the last step. So thanks for bearing with me. It was kind of a tricky video here. We had some mistakes that we had to fix up. But again, I appreciate you sticking with me, and congrats on completing your camshaft. I'll see you in the next video.